everyone, and welcome to the Wildlife Trust's 30 Days Wild Big Wild Kids Quiz. Now, my name's Maddie, and I'm going to be your host for the next half an hour or so. A big hello to anybody who is joining us for this live stream right now. Hello, and of course, if you are watching back later, thank you so much for joining us. A big, warm, wild welcome to all of you. Now, thank you so much for joining us here with me and the Wildlife Trusts to celebrate 30 Days Wild, which is the Wildlife Trust's biggest nature challenge. And this is when they invite all of us to connect with nature in some way every single day in June. And it doesn't matter how big or small the activity is. Maybe you go outside and smell a flower or have a picnic in the park. Perhaps you've been planting some wildflowers, doing a litter pickup, or just bird watching from your window. It really doesn't matter. The idea is just to get outside and connect with nature. But of course, one thing you could be doing for 30 Days Wild is a wildlife quiz. So congratulations, all of you. You're already doing something for 30 Days Wild today. Now, this is going to be your 1 minute warning because, of course, we are doing a quiz today, so you're going to need something to write down your answers on. So if you haven't already got yourself a pen, a pencil, some scrap paper, go now. Go on, go everybody. Quick, quick, quick. I promise that we won't start without you. So just go and get yourself something to scribble down your answers. And whilst some people are doing that, let me tell you a little bit about how this quiz is going to work. So, as you all know, we are live streaming on YouTube right now. And because this is a quiz for kids and family, it means there won't be any comments. However, we do want to hear from you. So if there are any grown-ups watching who use Twitter, please do tweet us at the Wildlife Trusts and let us know that you're joining us here for this quiz for the live stream. Personally, I want to know what your wild quiz team names are. So why not come up with a quiz team name? Maybe it's animal or wildlife related. And also do let me know, what have you been doing for 30 Days Wild? Because some of us might not have started. For some of us, this might be completely new. So it'd be great to have some ideas for a bit of inspiration for what's left of June. So yes, do just tweet us at the Wildlife Trust, and I will do my best to shout out as many tweets that come through as possible. So how is this quiz going to work? Well, we have 5 rounds and 30 questions, and each question is worth 1 point. So it is 30 points for 30 Days Wild. And the rounds are, we have a general nature knowledge round, and then we have a round called Let's Get Nosy. I'll let you try and work out what that might be. Then there's a little bit more general nature knowledge. We have a photo round where I'm going to show you some photos and then they'll sort of give you some prompts for the answers. And then lastly, we have a round called group names where I'm going to invite you to try work out what the group name for a certain group of animals is. So those are all the rounds that we have today. Now, I'm hoping that everybody is back. We've all got a pen and paper. And if you do want to tweet us at Wildlife Trusts, please do so. So let me just see if we have anybody watching already. And I would like to say a big shout out to Soren, who is 6 years old, and their quiz name is the Mushabees, which is a combination of mushrooms and the Maccabees. So a big hello to Soren. It's nice to see you. All right then, everyone. Shall we crack on with round number 1? Okay. All right. Brilliant. So here are your first 5 questions. I'm going to tell you the questions, I'll quickly repeat them, and then we'll do the answers after each round. All right, everyone. Okay, let's go. So, question number 1 is, what is the name of the world's largest reef system? What is the name of the world's largest reef system? And when I say reef, I mean a coral reef. So you get a bit of a clue there for you. So that's question number 1. All right, now question number 2. What do you call an animal that only eats plants? Let me think. An example of this would be an elephant or a triceratops. What do you call an animal that only eats plants? All right, question 3 for our general nature knowledge is, what is a doe? What is a doe? Now, there's quite a famous song that would probably help you with this, but I will save you all from me singing it. So, yeah, what is a doe? Okay, all right. Question number 4 is, okay, this is a tricky one. What do you call the hard outer layer that protects the bodies of most insects? So what do you call the hard outer layer that protects the bodies of most insects? So to help you with that one a little bit, we have something inside our bodies that helps us to stay up. It gives us a framework, but insects, they have it on the outside of their body, so it has a slightly different name. So there you go, that's your clue for that one. And then the final question in your first round is, what is the tallest animal? And what's the tallest animal alive now on the planet? Not the Titanosaur or anything like that. What is the tallest animal right now? All right. So those were your 5 questions. Now let me quickly recap all of those for you before we do the answers to your first general knowledge round. So they were, question 1 was, what is the name of the world's largest reef system? Question 2 is, what do you call an animal that only eats plants? And then question 3 is, what is a doe? What is a doe? And question 4, what do you call the hard outer layer that protects the bodies of most insects? And then finally, question 5 was, what is the tallest animal? So there you go. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Make sure if you do want to get involved, ask a grown-up to send us a tweet at Wildlife Trusts, and I will give out as many shout-outs as I possibly can. All right then, let's do the answers. Okay, so the answer to the first one, which was, what is the name of the world's largest reef system? The answer was, of course, give you a clue, it's in Australia. It's the Great Barrier Reef. Well done if you got that right. Question 2, what do you call an animal that only eats plants? The answer to that is a herbivore. So if you have an animal that only eats meat, we would call them a carnivore, and an animal that eats both is an omnivore. Question 3, the song was from The Sound of Music. It was a doe, a deer, a female deer. Did anyone manage to answer that without singing the song? I didn't, clearly. I told you I wouldn't, and I did anyway, sorry. And then question 4 was, what do you call the hard outer layer that protects the bodies of most insects? That is an exoskeleton. So we have a skeleton on the inside of our bodies, but an insect has their skeleton, the bit that protects their squishy bits, on the outside of their body. So exo meaning outside. So it's an exoskeleton. Well done if you got that one right. That was quite tricky. And then question 5, what is the tallest animal? The answer is a giraffe. So there you go. How did you do? Let me know how you did, and congratulations for doing round number 1. All right. So we're going to move quickly on to round number 2, and this is called Let's Get Nosy. So the idea is that I'm going to show you some pictures of animal noses, and you have to work out which animal you think that nose belongs to. So I just want to give a shout out now to Emily and Charlie. Charlie is 7 years old. They're playing along, and this is your first time taking part in 30 Days Wild. Well, welcome. I'm so glad that this is your introduction to 30 Days Wild. Hopefully for every day left over in June, you'll be able to do something wild along with thousands of people. So yeah, hello to Emily and Charlie. Right, but where was I? Round number 2, let's get nosy. Okay, so I'm going to show you some pictures, and just for a giggle, whilst you're working it out, I'm going to try and make the nose fit on my face. So if you want to take some pictures of the screen, things are about to get silly. So here we go. Whose nose do you think this is? There we go. Wonder if I can, there we are. Whose nose do you think this is? I'll give you a clue. It's actually, I'm not going to give you a clue for this one. I reckon some of you will get it. So there you go. Whose nose is this? First question of round number 2. Let's get nosy. If you are just joining us for the quiz right now, this is going to be quite a strange thing for you to stumble across. Basically, guess the animal you think this nose belongs to. All right, great. So that was the first one. Brilliant. Next one. Whose nose is this? Ooh. There we are. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. Whose nose is this? This animal, do you want a clue for this one? I'll give you a clue-ish. Lives near water. There you go. That's your clue. I've got to try and avoid making the sound of that animal. There we go. All right. Now, number 3 is, here we go. Whose nose is this? What do you think? This is quite a cute nose, I reckon. There we go. Whose nose is this? This is actually a picture of a young animal. Quite a young animal. So you're looking at a baby animal here. So don't let that throw you off. Whose nose is that? This is question number 3 of Who's Nosy. All right then. Now, number 4. Whose nose is this? Let's get nosy. Woo! There we are. Maybe I'll move this one around a little bit. Whose nose do you think it is, everybody? All right. And then last but not least, nose number 5. Let's get nosy. It is... Oh, here we go. Whose nose do you think this is? There we go. All right, how did you all do? Should we do a little recap of all of the noses? I'll save you me trying to place them on my face this time. So a little quick recap. Nose number 1 was this one. Nose number 2, this one right here. Nose number 3, here you go. Nose number 4. And finally, we have nose number 5. There you go. All right then. So to give you the answers, I'm going to show you the whole picture of the animal. How did you do? Let's see if anyone's getting in touch. Oh, brilliant. So we have one team called the 3 Gardeners. Hello to the 3 Gardeners. They've been enjoying their garden for 30 days wild. And that's a little message that's come through from Jude, who is 6 years old. Hello to the 3 Gardeners and Jude. And also we have the Loudon family taking part in the kids quiz. And they say very happy 30 days wild. So hello to the Loudon family. Thank you so much for joining us. How did you do on nose guessing? Let's find out, shall we? So here are your answers to the question round number 2. First of all, your first nose belonged to a red squirrel. Did anybody get this? So the red squirrel, they're sadly one of our endangered species in Britain. The red squirrel, look at its furry little ears. Isn't that sweet? Then number 2, the second nose belonged to a, let's have a look. It's a common frog. Look at that. That frog enjoying the water. Lovely. What a funny face. Nose number 3 belongs to a, here we go. That's a red fox. What a gorgeous picture. Very, very sweet. Well done if you got that one, because that was quite tricky as well, actually. So that is a red fox. Nose number 4. Is it a nose? Could we call it a nose, or are we going to say, really, was it a beak? And it belonged to a robin. That's it, robin redbreast. That's what you were looking at right there. And then lastly, the final nose was this one. And this belongs to, it's a dolphin. Super, super extra points if you got the fact it was a bottlenose dolphin. So did anyone type or write down a bottlenose dolphin? Well done if you did. Just want to say hello to Laura, who is playing along with her son and is putting a picture and has just put up a picture on their Facebook page. So hello to Laura and your son. Thank you so much for playing along. And also a big hello to Abby, Joel and Nathan. They are loving the quiz and they've been doing lots of wild activities for 30 Days Wild. So hello to all of you. All right, we're doing pretty well, and we're about to move on to our 3rd round, and this is part 2 of our general nature knowledge. So how are you doing on round 1 and 2 so far? Can you all give yourselves a round of applause, please? All right then. Okay, so round 3, general knowledge. Let's go. Okay, the first one is question number 1. We've got another 5 questions for you here. What are clouds mostly made of? What are clouds mostly made of? And I'm looking for a general answer here, just the thing that clouds are mostly made up of. General answer, don't need to get specific, unless you want extra bonus points. But we're just going for the 30 today, so yeah, what are clouds mostly made from? Next one, this is a good one. How many legs does a lobster have? How many legs does a lobster have? Question 2. That's a good one. All right, the next one for round 3, nature knowledge, is what are the only animals that are unable to jump? That's amazing. They're the only animals that can't jump. Which animal do you think that might be? And if you don't know, have a guess. Because I reckon if you think about it and you have a good guess, you might just get it. So what animal do you think would find it quite tricky to jump? That's probably a good place to start. All right, question 4 of general knowledge is, what is the biggest animal in the entire world right now? What is the biggest animal in the entire world? We've had what is the tallest. So now I would like to know, what is the biggest animal? And then the last question of your general knowledge round is, it's a tricky one, but I believe in you all. What do you call the process of plants turning sunlight into energy for themselves? So what do you call the process of plants turning sunlight into energy for themselves? What do you think that might be? It's a long word. I'm going to recap all of these questions in the general knowledge round. Okay, so we had question 1 was, what are clouds mostly made from? Then it was, how many legs does a lobster have? What are the only animals that are unable to jump? The next one was, what is the biggest animal in the entire world? And then finally, it was, what do you call the process of plants turning sunlight into energy for themselves? So those were your five general knowledge rounds. While some of you are having a think about those, I want to give a shout out to a couple more of you. Thank you so much for joining. If you have just tuned in, by the way, hello, I'm Maddie and welcome to the 30 Days Wild Big Wild Kids quiz. Very excited. Our team Fox, that's Mummy and Fox, who is 4 years old. Hi, thank you for tuning in. Alex, who is 6 years old, is watching along in Coventry. Hello, Alex. Pippa, who is 9 years old. Oh, Pippa, this is cool. Pippa went on a nightjar walk, and nightjars are a type of bird that come out. They're known as crepuscular birds, which basically means they come out when the light is going down at night. So that must have been really cool. So Pippa's team name is Team Nightjar. So hi, Pippa. Bet that was fun. We have hello to the 3 Macreadys who are loving the quiz. Thank you so much. Hello to the Macreadys. And then Katie, Toby and Theo also loving the quiz whilst recovering from camping. Wow, that's a very cool thing to do for the Big Wild weekend. I hope you had a great time camping. And lastly, hello to Ben and Oliver, who are 10 years old, and their team is the Faulkner Foxes. Very cool, the Faulkner Foxes. Foxes are very popular today with team names. Love that. And we had a fox nose earlier on. So how are you all doing? How did you do for round number 3? Tot up your answers. Let me know over on Twitter if you want to. If you do want to tweet us, then just go at Wildlife Trust and give yourselves a round of applause for round number 3. All right. We have 2 rounds left, and the next one is a photo round. So I am going to show you a photo, and then I'm going to ask you a question, and the photo will just help you along with that answer. So I hope you're all ready. This is round number 4, the photo round. All right, let's take that down, and let's start showing you some pictures, shall we? So here we go. This is question number 1 for your photo round. Here we go. Now, could you find one of these turtles in the UK? That is a leatherback turtle. Could you find a leatherback turtle in the UK? It's a simple yes or no answer. For 1 point, could you find a leatherback turtle in the UK? What do you think? Yes or no? Question number 2. Here we go. Now, the question for this is, what is the name of this wildflower? I think a lot of you will get this one. What is the name of this wildflower? flower. It's quite fun to pick them and make chains sometimes. So there you go. What do you think the name of that wildflower is? Very good. All right. Question number 3. Ooh, what species of bird is this? What species of bird? An absolutely beautiful, beautiful animal. It always feels really special to see one of those in the wild because they sort of glisten like jewels above the water. So yeah, what is the name of this bird? Good stuff, everyone. Okay, question number 4. Here is your next photo. Is this a moth or a butterfly? Photo 4 for you. Is this a moth or a butterfly? What do you think? And I tell you what, bonus points if you know what type of moth it is. If you know the type of moth that is, that's amazing. So that was that. Moth or butterfly, you decide. All right, next one is, here we go. I'm going to show you a picture of this animal, type of mammal. So, what is the name given to the underground home of this animal? So what do we call the underground home of this animal? What's the name given to the underground home of that animal? Do you know the answer to that question? Here's your next picture. Here it is. Ah, which animal does this bum belong to? That could be a whole quiz round, couldn't it? Whose bum is this? So which animal does this bum belong to? What do you think? This is a great answer. Sounds funny when you say it, so there you go. Whose bum is this, everyone? And that is your question number 6. We've got 10 photos for you. That was number 6 of 10. Hello if you've just joined us, by the way. Here we go. Your next photo is with your question. Ooh, what do you think? Is this a bee, a wasp, or a fly? Tricky one, this one. We're playing a bit of a trick on you, I think. Is this a bee, a wasp, or a fly? What do you think? Question 7, bee, wasp, or fly? Pick one. All right, question 8. Here we go. Ooh, what long-eared mammal that turns white in winter made these tracks? What long-eared mammal that turns white in winter made these tracks? What do you think? What type of long-eared mammal made those tracks? I think quite a few will get that one. All right, here we go. I'm now going to show you a picture of a baby animal, and I want you to tell me, what will this baby bird grow up to be? And it's okay just to give me the general name for this one. What will this baby bird grow up to be? All right. And then your final question, this is your final photo in the photo round, and it is this beautiful bird. This is an osprey, but the question is, what do ospreys mostly eat? Again, you can just give me a general word for this one. What do ospreys mostly eat? Okay, well done. Now I'm going to give you a quick recap as we go through all of these pictures, just in case you missed any or you've only just turned up. So here we go. Let's do this nice and quick for your photo round. So the first one was, can you find one of these turtles? It's a leatherback turtle in the UK. Next up we have, what is the name of this wildflower? Ooh. Next one we have here is, what species of bird is this? Then your next question was, is this a moth or a butterfly? Then it was, what is the name of the underground home of this animal? Best question, number 6, whose bum is this? What animal do you think, whose bum does that belong to? Next one was, is this a bee, a wasp, or a fly? Then we had, what long-eared mammal made these tracks in the snow? What bird will this baby bird grow up to be? And then lastly, it was, what type of food does an osprey eat? What does an osprey mainly eat? So that was your recap of your photo round. Now, whilst you're getting your answers in, let me just say hello to some more of you. So a big hello to Samuel and Beth, who are in Wales. Hi, Samuel and Beth. Thank you for playing along. Emily, who's 4 years old, and her new baby sister, Bethany, are playing along for their first big wild quiz with Mummy and Grandad. Hello, you two. How are you all doing? Next up, we have the Little Jays. Brilliant name. I'm going to say hello to Poppy, aged 10. So hello, Poppy. Thank you so much for playing along with your team today. Claudia, who is 3, Carrick, who is 5, and their mum and dad are all watching in the Isle of Man. Thank you so much for joining the Big Wild quiz. They loved the quiz last year too, and they've done something for every day in June for 30 Days Wild. So congratulations. That's very cool to have done something every day. Well done, gang. The team Koala Queens, that's Bethany and Felicity, who are 7 and 3 years old, say, hello, Maddie. Hello. They thought round 3 was quite tricky. It was a bit hard, wasn't it? I thought round 3 was quite difficult, but don't worry, we've got 5 rounds in total. And then finally we have hello to Matthew, who's really enjoying the quiz and has danced all around the room when he got an extra point for bottle-nosed dolphin. So well done to Matthew, who's also enjoying the quiz. Thank you so much for joining me and playing along, everyone. This is great fun. All right, so we're now going to do your answers for the photo round. Here we go. So the first question was, can you find a leatherback turtle in the UK? The answer is yes, you can. You can find leatherback turtles in the UK. Well done if you got that right. What is the name of this wildflower? The answer is, of course, a daisy. I'm sure everyone got that one. Well done if you did. Next up, we have this beautiful picture of a kingfisher. Your question was, what species of bird is this? The answer is a kingfisher. Now, the next one. What do you reckon? Do you think that this was a bird? A bird? It's definitely not a bird. How about a butterfly or a moth? It is a moth. And I said I'd give you a bonus point if you knew what type of moth it is. Does anyone know what type of moth that is? Because it is an emperor moth. Well done if you managed to get that one. That would be very cool indeed. Good nature knowledge. Next was, what do you call the name of the underground animal, home of this animal? The answer is a set. It's a badger set. And then, whose bum is this? This is, of course, a beaver. That is a beaver butt. Brilliant. If you're watching along now, wiggle your beaver butts if you got it right. Great. Here we go. Is this a fly, a bee, or a wasp? That is, in fact, a fly. We were tricking you a little bit there. It looks like a bee. It looks a little bit like a wasp, but it is, in fact, a fly. Very clever, these flies that make themselves look like bees, though. Next up was this one. What type of mammal made these tracks? The answer is a mountain hare. If you said hare, that's all right. I'll give you hare. But if you said a mountain hare, that's brilliant. So well done if you got a mountain hare that made those tracks. And then finally, our question was, what do ospreys, no, it wasn't, next one, sorry, number 9, was what is this baby bird going to grow up to be? The answer is a mute swan. If you said swan, that's great. Well done if you said swan, but if you said a mute swan, fantastic work. And then the last question was this one. It was a picture of this osprey, and we asked you, what do ospreys mostly eat? And the answer is fish. If you gave me a specific fish, that's brilliant, but fish will do. So well done. Those were 10 questions. Some of those were quite tricky, and please do give yourselves a round of applause. Woo! All right. Now, before we do our final round today, I want to say hello to Lily, who is 5 years old, and Connor, who is 3. They are loving 30 Days Wild, and their team name is quite simply The Best Team. Brilliant. Love that, Lily and Connor. Hello to Amalia and Felix, who are playing along, and also hello to Sam and Kate in Manchester, and this is their 4th 30 Days Wild. So thank you for continuing to take part, Sam and Kate, and also for joining me along with the quiz today. Hope you're all doing really well. We've now got our final round, and this is group names. This is quite a fun one. So an example of a group name would be, for example, if you have a group of flamingos, we often call them a flamboyance of flamingos, which I think is a very fun group name. Another one, if you have a group of owls, we tend to call them a parliament. A parliament of owls. One of the cutest ones, if you have a group of pandas, that's sometimes known as a cupboard of pandas, which I think is adorable. But I've got 5 for you here. If you don't know it, give us your best guess. Maybe you could come up with something funny if you don't know it, and you all have a giggle anyway. So here we go with our final round with group names. And the first question is, what do you call a group of lions? What is the name for a group of lions? If you've seen The Lion King, you might be familiar with this. What is the name for a group of lions? Your next group name is, what is the name for a group of caterpillars? Now, I didn't know this one. And if you don't know it, that's absolutely fine. We can all learn something today. It's all about being interested and curious, isn't it? So if you don't know it, that's okay. In fact, if you don't know it, make one up. So yeah, what is the name for a group of caterpillars? I'd call a group of caterpillars a wiggle. But I can tell you the official answer isn't a wiggle of caterpillars, which is a shame, frankly. Next up is number 3. What is a group of goats called? What is a group of goats called? And we sometimes use this word for the name of other groups as well. So this isn't specific to goats. This is more of a general group name, I would say. What is a group of goats called? Number 4. What about a group of hens? What do we call a group of hens? What do you call a group of hens? A group of chickens. Yep, I just made the sound of a chicken. All right, last one is, what is the name for a group of sardines? This is quite nice. What is the name for a group of sardines? So those were your 5. Those are your final questions, your final of the 30. I'm going to just go over them again for you. We have, what do you call a group of lions? What's the name for a group of caterpillars? What is a group of goats called? What about a group of hens? And lastly, what is a group of sardines? Ooh, now whilst you just have a final think about those, I'd love to say hello to Gaia and to Ika, who are enjoying 30 Days Wild, and they went for a forest walk and a picnic today. Well done. I hope you had a really good time. Hello to Team Agapanthu. That's Milo and Maeve and Dad, who are in Falmouth, Cornwall. Hi, I was actually in Cornwall last week. What a beautiful place. I hear at the moment there is a shanty festival going on. So I do wonder, have you been singing any sea shanties this weekend? I was gutted to miss that. What a fun thing to do for 30 Days Wild, to get out on the beach and sing like a pirate. Lastly, hello to Elise, who is 4 years old, who's playing along with her mummy and daddy. They're really enjoying 30 Days Wild. And did I give the answers for round 3? Because we missed them. Did I give the answers for round 3? I hope I did. No, I didn't. I didn't give the answers. Well, we'll do both of those at the same time. Thank you. All right, so we're going to do the answers for both round 3 and round 5 all together. All right, everyone. So first up, we're going to do the answers to round 3. So flip back your paper, go back and find round 3 again. And the first question was, here we go, hope we're all ready. What are clouds mostly made of? And the answer is water. So some of you might have said water vapour, some of you might have said little water droplets, because the way clouds work is that water in the form of a gas, water vapour, rises up high into the air, and then up there it will start to clump around little specks of dust, and it will condense into water droplets or even freeze into tiny little ice crystals. So really clouds are made of dust and water, but water is the answer that we were looking for. All right, the next question for round 3, so if you've just joined, we're doing the answers for round 3 because I forgot to do that, was, here we go, how many legs does a lobster have? How many legs does a lobster have? Well done if you said 10. 10 legs. That's a lot of legs. So yeah, lobsters have 10 legs. And then it was, what are the only animals that are unable to jump? That's question 3. What are the only animals unable to jump? The answer is an elephant. Well done if you got that one right. Well done. You can only imagine how difficult it would be for an animal as big as an elephant to jump. So there you go, the only land animal that can't jump. Question number 9. What is the biggest animal in the entire world? So this is question 4 of the general knowledge round. What is the biggest animal in the entire world? It was a blue whale. Well done if you got that one. And then lastly, this was the tricky one. What do you call the process of plants turning sunlight into energy for themselves? What do you call the process of plants turning sunlight into energy? The answer is photosynthesis. Well done you if you managed to get that right. So just to wrap up those answers for what was round number 3, it was water vapour, what are clouds made from? Water vapour, ice crystals. Then it was how many legs does a lobster have? The answer is 10. What are the only animals that can't jump? The answer is an elephant. What's the biggest animal in the entire world? A blue whale. And what do you call the process of plants turning sunlight into energy? The answer was photosynthesis. So well done, everybody. And now I'm going to go back to do the answers for group names. Just going to say a quick hello to Kay, who is playing with her daughter Penny, and they are Team Butterfly Rose. Hello, Team Butterfly Rose. I hope you have enjoyed this quiz. I'm about to do the answers for our final round, which was group names. Okay, here we go, everyone. These are your final answers. Firstly, what do you call a group of lions? The answer is a pride. A pride of lions. The next question, question 2 of group names. What is the name for a group of caterpillars? The answer, it's not a wiggle of caterpillars, it's an army. An army of caterpillars. You can sort of just imagine them all marching along together. An army of caterpillars. The third question was, what is a group of goats called? And the answer is a herd. A herd of goats. So we often use the name herd for a group name, but a herd of goats. Number 4 was, what is a group of hens called? A group of chickens? We call them a brood. A brood of hens. And then your final answer for the 30 Days Wild quiz today is, what is the name for a group of sardines? It is a family. A family of sardines. Woo! So those were the answers to rounds 3 and 5. How did you do? Did you get any of my bonus points? And how many did you get out of 30? If you're playing along with a grown-up, then why not get them to tweet us at Wildlife Trusts and let us know how you did. How many points did you get out of 30 today? Final hellos to people who have joined us. Hello to Team Plant, who are taking part in the quiz, and also to Gemma and her daughter, who've been looking forward to the quiz all day. I really hope you enjoyed the questions, everybody, and are enjoying 30 Days Wild. If you haven't started to take part yet, there's plenty of time. There's loads of time left in June to get outside and connect with nature on a daily basis. And it doesn't matter what it is you do, whether that's smelling a flower or doing a litter pick on the beach. It really is up to you. It's just good for all of us to get outside and connect with nature. So thank you so much for joining me for this quiz today. Please share it if you've played along and you think it would be enjoyed by some of your friends and family, because the quiz will exist on YouTube, on the Wildlife Trust channel for a long time to come. So you can always come back and play it in the future if you want to as well. So thank you so much from me and also from the Wildlife Trusts. I hope you all have a fantastic evening and a very happy 30 Days Wild. Thanks everyone. Bye.